Is original sin original? The Catholic Encyclopedia defines original sin as the hereditary stain with which we are born on account of our origin or descent from Adam. The theory was first coined by the monk Augustine and popularized by Catholics and later Protestants like Luther and Calvin, who in some ways made it even worse. For example, John Calvin, in his Institutes of the Christian Religion, said that original sin seems to be a hereditary depravity and corruption of our nature, diffused into all parts of the soul. And Luther, in his second article to the Augsburg Confession, all men are full of evil lust and inclinations from their mother's wombs, and are unable by nature to have true fear of God and true faith in God. Luther even held on to the Catholic doctrine of the Immaculate Conception, that Mary was conceived free from original sin. But this theory of original sin does not explain how some individuals that were originally created holy, blameless, that is sinless by God, like Adam and Eve, Jesus, and even angels, were susceptible to sin and sometimes sinned. Does the Genesis 6 event, where some angels are said to have left their designated positions in heaven, as the New Testament later explains in Jude and Peter, in order to commit sexual immorality? And then there's, of course, Satan himself, originally one of the highest ranked holy angels of God, who is said to have fallen into sin, and then later will bring down even more angels with him, according to Revelation 12. This might explain why one of the friends of Job asks, can a mortal be more righteous than God? Can even a strong man be more pure than his maker? If God places no trust in his servants, if he charges his angels with error, how much more those who live in houses of clay, whose foundations are in the dust, who are crushed more readily than a moth? And again in Job chapter 15, the friend says to Job, look, God does not even trust the angels. Even the heavens are not absolutely pure in his sight. The point is, as Matthew Henry's concise commentary notes, that whatever might be the holiness of a creature, it was possible to conceive that he might sin. This, of course, was also true for the procreated, holy, unique human Son of God himself, because according to Hebrews 4:15, Jesus understands every weakness of ours because he was tempted in every way that we are, but he did not sin. In other words, the Son lived his entire life with the same weaknesses and feelings that assail each and every one of us. As a matter of fact, at one time, Jesus felt so much fear and dread that he pleaded to his God and Father, if you are willing, if possible, please remove this cup from me. Note that according to Matthew's account in Matthew 26, Jesus asked for this twice, and according to Mark's account in Mark 14, possibly even thrice. And then with his very last breath, while dying a torturous death on the cross, Jesus asked his Father, my God, why have you forsaken me? Now, he said this not only to fulfill Old Testament scripture, but also because Jesus really felt stranded, abandoned, deserted, perhaps even forsaken by his God and Father. Wouldn't you? This self-awareness explains why throughout the Gospels, especially in the Gospel of John, he continually says the Son can do nothing by himself, and that his very life is dependent on the Father in places like John 5 and 6. The fact is that some of the only scriptures used to prove this original sin, for example, Romans 5, 1 Corinthians 15, say nothing about some hereditary stain or depravity and corruption that makes people unable to have true fear or even true faith in God, as Martin Luther and Calvin so awfully put it. In 1848, the famous Unitarian clergyman George Burnap said, if this doctrine of original sin is true, God did not tell men the true penalty, neither the truth, nor the whole truth, nor 100th part of the truth. To have told the whole truth according to this hypothesis, he should have said, because ye have done this, cursed be that moral nature which I have given you. Henceforth, such is the change I make in your natures, that ye shall be, and your offspring, infinitely odious and hateful in my sight. What an awful blot would such a curse be on the first pages of Scripture.